Awesome. Welcome everyone once again to our session. This is our third session together, and I believe is it third or fourth? Can't remember. And I believe you've been making some progress. I see some of your submissions, and I like the way you guys are thinking about your task. Again, I throw those tasks at you for a very simple reason. It is to extend you, all right? Not just stay within what we have covered in class, but to also extend beyond what we have taught in class. The reasons for this is simple, very simple. The reason is in attempting those exercises, you are able to learn something new. And when you learn that thing, all right, it's able to stay with you longer. I can talk from now till the next 2 hours, and if you don't actually do stuff yourself, sincerely, it will just be a complete waste of your time. All right. For a number of you, Maureen, I'm going to make you a co-host so that you can be admitting any other person that joins. All right. So, for a number of you, I see you're so busy. Emily, so tired, so busy, just like so many of us as well on the call. But this is what I keep telling my students. There is a time to sweat and there's a time to reap. The time to sweat is usually not comfortable, it's usually not palatable, it's usually not desirable. Um, I remember falling asleep on my laptop many, many times when I was starting out with computer programming around 2010. You know, I would find myself falling asleep on my laptop. I'll find myself writing codes in my dreams. I was that crazy about it. It was super uncomfortable. I was an undergraduate student at the time, and I had a lot of workload, all right? Plenty. Assignments here, tests there, other forms of responsibilities here and there. At some point, I dabbled into politics in school. I was very active in church. So there were so many things calling for my attention at every given time. But there's something that I always say, when you sweat now, you're going to relax later. Now, with the skill sets that you would acquire when you sweat now, you're able to acquire something that for life, you are made. There are countless opportunities that have come my way today as a result of the skill sets that I possess. So you don't just go to a job or show up in a place so casual. You show up with such enthusiasm. You show up with such loaded, skill set. And when they look at you, they know that this person is not just an employee. This person is somebody greatly to that contributes greatly to the organization as a whole. So it helps to secure your position in any place you find yourself. And outside your normal or your regular job, you're able to pick up a lot of side hustles. You're able to freelance for a lot of people or a lot of organizations while you're still maintaining your 9 to 5. So it expands your streams of income and all that. You're also able to impart the same knowledge on other people. And you can also make money from imparting knowledge when you train other people, like I am doing. All right. Even though none of you in this class have paid me a dime, I'm still going to bill all of you later. But regardless, you're able to still make whatever it is, whether it's some money or generally for myself, you're able to achieve some level of satisfaction. I love imparting knowledge actually. And sometimes I get motivated and energized whenever I'm doing this. So as tired as I look, as tired as I may sound, I sound that way at the beginning, but in a few minutes, you find out that my energy comes back, all right, and I am able to flow. Not because of anything, but because I enjoy imparting knowledge, all right. So please do yourself a favor. For the next 8 weeks that we are together, map out times. You have to reduce your sleep time. If your sleep time is normally 8 hours, you can cut it down to 6 hours so that you can have 2 hours to study, all right, or to practice some of the things we're doing here. If your sleep time is 4 hours, then you have to cut it down to 2 hours. Give 2 hours of study time to this and stress yourself for just these 8 weeks and see how far you're able to go with this knowledge. Trust me, stress yourself now, gain the knowledge, and you'll be made for life. The knowledge you make or you gain by stressing yourself in this way right now is stressful, is frustrating, and all that. But sincerely, once you get it, you have gotten it. It sticks with you for the rest of your life. And you're able to use it for so many years. Oh, I'm so sorry, Gbemisola, with babies. I understand. Sincerely, I understand. And as a matter of fact, there are people who have taken my classes in the past, not just with babies, with a very large family. Do you understand? Very large family. There's this lady who she gave birth, I think 2 weeks before the commencement of our class. So it is not easy. It is tough. I know all the sleepless nights. I know all the troubles. I know how you struggle to concentrate because when they are around, you will never find time to rest. Do you understand? There's something my mom was doing just as a form of motivation to you and every other person on the call. There's something my mom was doing. My mom got her degree when we were all grown-ups, all right? As a matter of fact, we were going to universities at the same time with my mom. So she was a teacher. So she's not going to school. She was a teacher, and then she enrolled in a sandwich program. So once they're on holidays, the school resumes. She goes to school, takes lectures, comes back home, writes her assignments and all of this stuff. And there's the period my mom studies. My mom does not study during the day. Of course, she's a teacher. She doesn't have that time. She's also a mom who has a lot of family responsibilities to take care of us, six of us. All right. Now, we're grown up, so of course we're helping out in the house to do one or two stuff, but that does not stop her from doing her own chores as well. She was doing her chores. She didn't shy away from doing her chores. Um, when it gets to once everybody have gone to bed, my mom goes to bed as well, and then she wakes up at 2 a.m. All right, 2 a.m. is the time that she wakes up, and whenever I, stumble on her studying, I just come around and I look at her. She will soak her legs in water and she's studying because her exams are coming. That's how she graduated from first she started with her College of Education. She's an NC. And those of you who know College of Education or College of Education in Nigeria, you will know that every semester you do at least 22 courses. All right. And then she never had a carryover for one day. When she got to her degree to the university, she did the same thing, no carryover for one day until she graduated. She has her NC, NTI, BSc. She's actually planning to go for her master's. I said, this woman, can you just rest? All right. So it is doable. All right. It will be stressful, but trust me, it's doable. It will be very uncomfortable. Already you are already uncomfortable. You're feeling a lot of discomfort right now. Taking care of kids is not an easy task at all. It's a full-time job on its own. But added to that stress, you are learning something new. But the consolation is that when you get this something new, you're able to use it in your own lifetime. You're able to use it to um, you're able to use it to create a better life for yourself and your family. All right. You're able to use it to even maybe afford some help in the house that can also help with some of those chores and reduce the burden on you eventually. So my plan is with you guys, we'll grow together. All right. We grow together. I will teach you or unveil to you everything that I know that will help your career and expose you to as many opportunities as possible, all right, as many opportunities as possible so that you can have a great career as a data analyst. That is my plan. So it would give me great joy and satisfaction to hear that Bemisola is now with Bloomberg as a data analyst, or Bemisola, or Emily is with Capital One, or Kayode is now with a lot of foreign companies and institutions or organizations that you can work with, and you'll be made for already. Do you understand? Some of them pay as high as $10,000 every month, all right, depending on the grade or your level. For your level as an entry level, they can start with $2,500. Then they can, as you grow and upgrade your grade at work and all of that, your experience level grows. You are finding yourself with intermediate roles or intermediate grades, or expert grades or professional grades. That's how your income also rises and stuff. But let's start like this gradually. So put in that effort. Find out the reason, place the reason why you're doing it before you all the time. It will help you. When you feel tired, when you feel frustrated, you're trying it, you're not getting it, you feel that frustration, you go back again to it, because I am doing this not just for me, I'm doing this for my family, I'm doing this for my kids, I'm doing this for my generation. I want to also make an impact in this space. I want to even be able to afford a better life for myself and my household. Do you understand? A lot of people, I've seen people, I know of this lady who was in a corridor, you know, I mean, that was where she grew up and all of that. But gradually she joined, what's it called? She was in Unilag. She wasn't studying anything tech at the time. I think she was studying something on, what's it called, surveying and geoinformatics and stuff. But then she dabbled into tech and she loved it, and she, took it serious. I remember we would have some conversations then, and I'll give her one or two tips and advice on how to stay in the space. Because in this space, how you survive or how you thrive is if you have a staying power. There will be very frustrating times. There will be very, frustrating moments as well. But when you have good staying power, that is what makes you prevail in this space. And today, last week or last month, she was in the UK. She's upgraded her family. She's a young girl. She's, I think, how old? 23, 22, thereabouts, right? She's upgraded her family. She's changed her family status. Why? She's now a cloud engineer employed by MTN, and doing great stuff for them and all that. And she's able to afford other remote opportunities for herself, or get other remote opportunities for herself. So this is a skill that you're about to acquire. It's stressful, I know. But if you get it right, you will thank yourself that you did not give up. All right? Okay, enough for the motivation. Let's get back to work. So we stopped at pivot tables the last time. And I said the pivot table, these are the aspects of advanced Excel that we use in data analysis, all right, to bring out insights from your data. And I started out with a sales data, a bike sales data that I showed us the last time. Let me just quickly share that screen right now. All right. So if you have this file, I believe all of us should have it already. If you don't have the file, please let me know so we can resend the file to you. But if you check your Bootcamp folder, check under Sprint 1, you will see a file, an Excel file called sales. That is what you have here. And I told us that this data was obtained from Kaggle, so that's kaggle.com. By the way, Maureen, please take note so you remind the class. Every one of you, go on kaggle.com. I'm putting it on the chat here. Go on kaggle.com after the class and create an account there. Every data analyst, you will find them on kaggle.com. All right, that is one platform where you should be present, kaggle.com. All right, I'll keep giving you all of these updates as we progress. Kaggle.com. It's an open source platform. That is, people make a lot of contributions there, data related contributions in there. Everything around data, machine learning, data sciences, data analysis and stuff. It has an open and free repository for data sets as well. So you that are starting out, this is one data source where you can, get data from to actually work on whatever project that you're going to be working on. Some of the tasks I will assign to us, I'll ask us to go on sites like this to obtain the data. Now, this data was obtained from Kaggle, and it is a bike sales data, right? And just by mere inspection, let me set up my file very well. It's an Excel workbook. All right. So just by mere inspection, I would try to expand all of the column width. By mere inspection, you can just take a quick glance at what your data contains. But if you go on kaggle.com and you're trying to obtain a data set, you search for the data set, you see various variations of that data set uploaded by other people, right? So each of these data sets comes with something attached to it called the data description. So the data description tells you what kind of data set you're looking at, how many columns it has, how many entries, which is rows that it has, where it has been used for, what is it called? What is the main source of it? Where is it coming from? It tells you other information about it. Are there missing record? Are there outliers? Some of them would give you some of this basic information so that it prepares your mind on the type of insights that you want to generate. So if I give you this data set, Bemisola, talk to me. If I give you this data set, by mere looking at it, what do you think, what kind of intelligence do you think you can draw, or insights? What kind of insight do you think you can draw from this data set? Talk to me, Bemisola. You can unmute yourself and speak.
Okay, so from this data, basically, because it's like a company that is selling some particular products,
Right.
actually. So I think what will actually I can pick from this is that, okay, which of my products should I produce more of it in case if there's high demand on a particular product or not. So that way you can know if you can produce this in excess or if the demand is very high or if the demand is
Mm.
very low. And also which country is having be requesting for this product also as well. I think I could draw
Thank you. You have given us two. Thank you. Let me go around the room and get more insights. Thank you very much. And that is awesome. Thank you. I'll go around the room. All right. Emily, talk to us. What kind of insight do you think you can, just by mere looking at the data, you've not started anything. What kind of insight do you think you can generate from here? Emily, talk to us.
Okay, from the data sets, you can look at the age group that purchases what at what time of the year and at what rate. Which one do they purchase more?
Mm.
Do these
So
young adults, do they purchase this particular products more, and in what country or state?
awesome, awesome. Age group and how they are, and their behavior around this data set. That's awesome. Chris, talk to us. What do you think? What kind of insight do you think can generate from this data by just looking at it?
Okay, thank you. Okay, what I can say about the data is the age. Is it the age now? Okay, the year. I mean the year. The difference. The year according to year. If you check the first one, so 2013, we saw the in 2013 we saw the difference, the age, the customer's age that purchased the bike and the particular bike. So the different years and the different age group of customers that purchase the the product there. So
Right,
we saw how from 2013 till different to the, I think, the recent years, different year we saw the different age group that purchased the product. So at different
right.
year we saw how that was
So you can look
changing.
at the years and how the
Yes,
age groups have purchased different products for each of these years
yes,
represented here. Thank you so much, Chris.
Yes.
That is also a good one. So let's come to Hadassah. Hadassah, talk to us. Okay, Hadassah, I know you're trying to talk, but I think there's something wrong with your microphone. So if you're using an earpiece, you can disconnect it and try again. Okay, we still can hear you, Hadassah. Try again. Try again. Oh no. Oh, no. Okay, there's something wrong with your microphone. All right, try to fix that, and then we'll come back. We'll come back to you. Maureen, do you have anything to add to this?
No, I can check for the price of the product that was sold, the one with the highest sales. I can see the product that did well. I can see the total revenue that was gotten from the product sold, the profit made on each product. I can also conduct an analysis on the seasons, what states performed better.
Right,
And I think, yeah.
right. I mean, those are revenue analysis that you can actually perform. So let's hear from Coyote before we proceed. Coyote, talk to us.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please talk to us. What else do you think you can get from here?
If I'm to check it, sir, I would check the gender that purchases more of the goods, and
Awesome.
also the goods that is selling mostly.
Mm, awesome. So Coyote would look at the gender specifications concerning the gender behavior, right? So what products are selling more among the females than the males? Do you understand in that light? Thank you so much. I mean, that's such just by me looking at it. Now, I am by asking you these questions that I asked you, I am trying to tap into a very important skill set of an analyst, which is insights and investigation. Okay? You are looking at your data, your mind is already investigating this data. What is this data telling me? So you're already investigating. All right? You're already asking a lot of questions in your mind. And then you're already having some kind of deep thoughts. Oh, okay. I could look at the kind of products that the females prefer, or the females in a certain region prefer these products, or a certain season, this product sells more. Do you understand? There are so many insights you can generate just by looking at this data. All right. So pivot tables or pivot tables helps us to draw out all of these insights. All these ones that you guys have mentioned, we're going to, draw out some of these insights just using a pivot table. From there, we're able to do, then once we step into visualization, we can see how we can actually express these numbers, all right, in that all of this insight, so that we can have a visual representation of them that makes more sense to a larger audience. Your numbers and stuff, all of these things you're looking at right now makes more sense to you as the analyst. You are technical. Many people who are interested in your report, they are not very technical. They just want to see something that gives them, like I just look at a pie chart and I'm able to say, oh, okay, males are doing more in terms of the sales than the females. This is what the pie chart tells me, right? Or this product is doing better. This is what the bar chart tells me. Or this year we had our highest revenue. This is what my line graph tells me, right? Because I'm doing some kind of time series, analysis or projection and stuff. So all of these things are we're using them to generate insights. Already, you're already thinking like an analyst. The last time I told you, when you want to start or to create a pivot table or pivot table, you go to insert on your menu bar, right? You go to insert on your menu bar, and then right there at the very first item on the left, you will see pivot table. Remember, we had said if you drop down, click on this drop down, you will see some other options, and I think we talked through those other options there. But once you click on pivot table, something happens. Look at the background. there are dotted lines around your table. First, I said ensure that your cursor is inside, that you have selected a cell that is inside the table, not outside the table. Outside the table means I can come here, all right? Once I click here, this is outside my data table, all right? Everything I'm going to do here would not capture my entire table, right? But here we are. Ensure that you're inside your data table. Once you're here, then you're fine. Once you click on it, it will automatically do that. However, you can also manually select the range that you want to be included in your pivot table, all right? I can come in here. I say, okay, I want to select the range myself, right? So I can come in here and say, okay, from A here, I'm holding my shift and control key, and I press right arrow key to select everything to the right, and then I press the down arrow key, still holding shift and control key to select everything to the base. So this gives us what we already had before now, right? That automatic selection that Excel already did before can also be achieved in this way. You can also specify any part of this table, this data table that is not selected will not feature in our pivot table. All right. So if I'm only interested in select part of this, I can always just pick gender and all that. I can select the section that I want out of this table, and that is the only thing that I will have access to on my pivot table. So take note. The next thing is, you want to open your pivot table in a new worksheet or an existing worksheet. Remember the last time, if we select an existing worksheet, then on the location bar here, you're going to choose where you want that pivot table to be displayed. All right, so on this sheet here, I can choose here. And once I click OK, my pivot table will be in here. But that's not what we want to do. We want to have a clean or a new worksheet for our pivot table. So I just go ahead and click OK. Then it creates that new worksheet here, and you will see this by default. This is what you will see. Ordinarily, you will see the pivot table field on the right. If it doesn't display, say you meet yours like this. If it doesn't display, then as long as you are in between, if I click outside here, please, everybody take note of this. I want you to focus on my screen first. When it is time to do yours, you would also do yours. So focus on my screen. Right now, I'm outside the pivot table area, right? If you check my menu bar, I'm outside the pivot table area. If you check my menu bar here, you would see my default menus here. But once I click inside the pivot table, there is an additional menu that pops up. Two additional menus actually pops up here. The pivot table analyze and the design. All right. These ones are specific because you need them for your pivot table. So in order to bring up your field list, if it is not displaying here by default, ensure you go to pivot table analyze menu, and you on the right side, right side of your screen, that is the end extreme of your screen, right extreme right of your screen, you will see this field list, buttons, and field headers, right? Just check that field list, and then it brings up the field list. This field list here shows you all this data, the data we selected earlier, all the columns that were selected earlier, they will all be displayed here. All of them, they will all be displayed in here. All right. And then down here, you have filters, columns, values, and rows. So whatever you want to display on the columns, you put it there. Whatever you want to display on the rows, you put it there. On the value side, you also put it there. I will explain with this example. So let's say, for instance, from our data set, let's use Coyote's insight that he mentioned. Coyote said he will want to look at the gender and the kind of products that the various gender will possess. So we'll look for where the gender is. Where is the gender? Customer gender. So I'm going to drag customer gender to the rows. Two things I'll show you. I can either drop it in the columns or the rows, depending on how you want your table to display. I'll do both so you see them. I also want to see the product category or the actual product itself, right? So I'm going to drag product, and I'll drop product on the column. And then I'm going to look for revenue. I'll drop revenue on the values. So this is what it means. for all-purpose bike stand, or instead of using these products are many, let's use the product category. All right, let's use product category. Where is it? Yeah, product category. All right, cool. So either accessories or bikes or clothing, right? 3 categories. So you see the revenues that have been made for males and females. Now, say I want them to display in the order. That is, let product be on the road and gender on the columns. Whichever way you think best represents your data, right? Between this, I'm going to ask us this question. Are you give me your vote on the card? Between this, I just selected all the areas of that pivot table and I copied so that I don't have to go and create a new pivot table. So between this and this, which one do you think is, more representative of your data? Which one do you prefer? Guys, let me know quickly. Okay, let me know in the chat or you mute yourself and speak. Which one do you think best represents your data or the insights you're trying to show? So this is
For
A.
me, the first one.
Okay, so let me label them so we can easily reference them. Yeah. So this is A and this is B. Okay. So let me know in the chat A or B. All right. Hadassah A. Bemichola A. Maureen also prefers A. Right. So again, you as the analyst, you're looking at, you have to use the appropriate what's it called? Representation that will make sense to your audience. If we flip it this way, of course, we're showing the same data, right? It is easier to look at this data than to look at this other one. Some other persons will prefer otherwise. So it just depends on your preference, actually. In this case, it depends on your preference. All right. But I also think I prefer A to B. Okay. So we're looking at this. And then by the way, the format for this was not there. That is this numbered. So I just selected them and I clicked on this comma here, right? That was how we got that format so that you're able to replicate yours as well. Or you can even use currency here since we're talking about money. All right, since we're talking about money, you can use currency here. Now, if I am going to other days, I clicked on this arrow here just beside row labels, okay? And you see more sort options. You see descending. I want to arrange them in descending order of the sum of revenues, right? And I click OK. So you will see that bikes sold more or generated more revenues. Accessories generated the next revenues, and clothing generated 8 million, right? That's 8.3 million. Accessories 15.1 million, and bikes 61.7 million or 61.8 million. So bikes is your cash cow in this business. Your cash cow is what brings more money than every other product. So your bikes is your cash cow by a very wide margin. All right, 61 to 15 and 8 is a very wide margin. Okay, so that most of your people come to your platform to purchase more of the bikes. All right, clothing and accessories, yes, they are there, but they also do some good numbers too, but nothing compared to the bikes. Then in terms of male and female, you're also able to see that for bikes it's almost 50-50 for males and females, right? For males, you have females have 30.9 or almost 31 million, while the males also has like 30.8 million. Do you understand? Almost 50-50 in that in that expression in there. For the accessories, the males purchase more or generated more revenue than the females. Same with the clothing. So across all of the product categories, the males would, have more revenue generated than the females. So in this way, that Though it may not be in all regions, it may be in just certain regions that this happens and all of that. But generally in your data sets that is provided to you, this is what you can see. All right, that you have more sales. And then overall sales from the males, 43.3 million, while the overall sales from the females, 41.9 million. All right, the margin is not so wide. However, the males generated more revenue. We generated more revenue from the males than we did from the females. This is one insight you have talked about. I can go in here again and repeat this step to add in a pivot table like we did at the beginning. All right, I can go in here and repeat this step again. Nothing stops me from doing that. However, I have shown you here that you can actually copy the entire, ensure you are copying the entire, not part of it, the entire pivot table and just paste. And it will have created a new pivot table. Last time I showed us something here. I said once you are inside a pivot table, under pivot table analyze, you will see right here, right? You will see a pivot. I just clicked on the drop down under pivot table. You see a pivot table name. It is giving this pivot table a name of pivot table 2. You can come in here and change it. It doesn't matter, right? But good practice, you can change it so that your pivot table has the name of what it's representing. So we can say sales, again, one word, no space. So I'm using underscores to add a space in between the words. So I can say sales from, or I can say product category, sales by gender. That is the name of this pivot table. If you come in here, you will find out that it has a different name. All right, it has a different name here, pivot table 3. So you can change it to whatever you want to change it to. Here you have a name here called pivot table 4. You can also go ahead and change it. All right, that's how you change a pivot table name. All right, so please let's take note of that. Awesome. So here since I've copied this here, I can go ahead and now change the fields. One of the insights that was shared earlier, I think Maureen had shared, you may want to see revenues or revenue, cost, and we have profits. Let's see here. So right, so you have profit, cost, revenue, right? Profit is supposed to be revenue minus the costs, and that is what it is here. So we want to see profit, cost, revenue. We want to see them for each product. I want to see them for each region, right, in our data set. So I'm just going to go ahead here. I'll just drag this stuff out. That is how you can delete it, all right? You can either drag it out, or you click on the drop down and you see remove field. Either way. Now I've emptied this pivot table. We want to see products. Now I can actually drop product here. All right. That's a lot of products. So it won't be wise to just show all of this. Let me see subcategory. I need to take off this product. Right. So there are subcategories. Let me also just stay with the categories. It's easier to look at category level. Right. And then we want to see the revenue cost, sorry, the revenue, the costs, and the profit. All right. We've added all of those under the values field, nothing on the columns. All right. Nothing on the columns. So let's take note of that. So, but automatically it places them in the columns. So we are seeing that. And then if I order this so that it can show me what is highest to lowest, right? Cool. We already know that sum of revenue for bikes is higher than all the other. We saw that earlier. We're looking at the cost. Of course, is also here. We'll look at the actual profit that was made from all of these sales. So we sold 61 million plus for bikes, and the profit was 20 million plus. So what is the percentage of profit to revenue? What is the percentage of profit to revenue? You just simply do equal to the sum of profit divided by sum of revenue here for bikes. And here you say it's 33%. Right? I'll allow us to do our work shortly, but I want to poke your mind a bit. It's 33% for bikes. So it means that if I want to increase my profit by 25%, how many percent do I need to increase my revenue? If I already know that 33% of my profits, I'm only going to make 33% of profit from 61 million revenue to give me that 20 million, right? So by how many percent do I need to increase my profit or my revenue to be able to achieve a 30 million profit, for instance, at the end of the year? These are the kind of things that you're coming up with as an analyst. Do you understand? All right. Do we have any questions so far? Do we have any questions so far? If we're good, give me a thumbs up. All right. We've not heard your voice today. Talk to us. All right. Where are you?
I'm
Are you
still
here with
trying
us?
to process. Yes, sir. I'm
Okay,
trying to
cool.
process it.
Okay. Okay. Process it well. All right. Okay. So these are the kind of things that will come to you as an analyst. So you're not just looking at, I'm not just teaching you how to use Excel or how to use all of these tools. In the workplace, the tools, knowledge of the tools is a given. Do you understand? Knowledge of the tools is a given. But what you're able to turn out from the use of those tools, that is actually what counts. So I'm able to advise the business. For us to be able to make $30 million in profit from bike sales in this year, right? I know I have 33% ratio profit to revenue ratio. So I need to increase my revenue by so percentage. Do you understand? That is, I need to sell at least, as a matter of fact, let's even do it. So let's say I want to get 30 million. Right, this is 30 million. That is what we want to get. And we know that profit to revenue is 33%. What does that mean? It means that if I multiply this, right, if this is this divided by x, this divided by x equals to 33, so 33, right. So this is the value we're looking for, x here. And we know that when we say x minus this, and the result, sorry, no, x divided by this should give us this. That is what the result is supposed to be. All right. So then we'll have to swap this. Right. 33% is 0.33, right? So if I divide this, it simply means that for us or for the business to make 30 million in profit from bike sales, then they need to make at least 90.3 million in revenue. All right, that's 90.3 million in revenue. 90.3 million in revenue means an increase of, let me see how many percent. I'll show you what I'm doing, okay? It's looking a bit confusing, I know. Right. It means I need to increase my revenue by 46% in order to get 30 million profit at the end of the month. So you are not proposing to marketing. I think we need to throw in more marketing campaign. And then you check which of the age grade purchases more of the bikes, which of the gender purchases more of the bikes. If gender is almost 50-50, so you know that is not a very good criteria to use. So you check the age grade. Is there a certain age grade that does more sales on the bikes than other age grades? So if we amplify our what's it called, targeted campaign to this particular age grade of people, we would be able to sell more than we would if we just do a random campaign, right? And in that way, we're able to get these numbers up. So it means if I have this number of sales, 90 million, I am sure I will be able to make 30 million because my profit to revenue ratio is 33%. All right. Again, this one is not anything about skills. It's not about knowing how to use Excel and stuff. This is you asking very important questions. So all you have is just a data set, but you're able to advise a business on how they should channel their operations, channel their funds and resources if they want to meet a certain goal. The goal here is profit should be 30 million by the end of the year for bike sales. All right. I'll pause here. So do yours. I need you to add other insights like you have mentioned earlier. All right. I'm going to list out a few of them and I want you to be able to generate the pivot table for that. So number one, so get the sales by category, by age grade. Sales by category, by age grade. Get the sales by country, sales by country, by their product category as well. All right, let me see you guys do this too. Yeah, let me see you guys do this too. I'll give you 5 minutes, and after 5 minutes, we'll go around the room, show me your work. Ask me questions if you have any. But after 5 minutes, we'll go around the room so you can show me your work. Your 5 minutes starts now.
Try me, oh Lord, and know my thoughts. Oh Lord, if there be any wicked way in me, create in me a clean heart, oh God, and renew a right spirit within me. You hem me in behind and before, and you lay your hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me, too lofty for me to attain. Search me, oh Lord, and know my heart. Try me, oh Lord, and know my thoughts. Oh Lord, if there be any wicked way in me, create in me a clean heart, oh God, and renew a right spirit within me. for you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful, I know that full well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in the secret place. When I was woven together in the depths of the earth, your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. Created me a clean heart, oh God, and renew a right spirit within me. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When the wicked, even mine enemies and my foes, came upon me to eat up my flesh, they stumbled and fell. Though an host should encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. Though war should rise against me, in this will I be confident. One thing have I desired of the Lord, that will I seek after, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of the Lord and to inquire in his temple.
Good done. Right? Good done. Anyone? Come on, talk to me, guys. Who's done? Chris, are you done?
I'm still on it, sir.
Okay. Okay, Gbemisola is done. Gbemisola, share your screen, please. I'm going to stop sharing. So you share your screen and talk to us. Show us what you have been able to do. Right. So talk to us. Can you unmute? Gbemisola, can you unmute?
Yes, I just
Okay. All right, cool. Talk to us. What do you have here?
Yeah, so what I did is like is what you told us to do. You said we should do sorry, I can't even see the the tax again. Okay, but I
Okay.
think you said we
So
should
do
do the
something. Do
sales.
something. Use your Alt key and your Tab key on your keyboard so that you can navigate to your Excel screen. Just hold your Alt key, click on your Tab key. It would bring up some certain screens.
Yeah.
Can you see your Excel screen?
No, I think I've gone somewhere else. I don't know what screen is showing now.
It's still your Excel screen. We can see your Excel, right? But I'm sure your Zoom stuff has overshadowed it and you're looking for it. Can you see your own Excel screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, cool. All right, go on.
I can.
Yes,
So you
go
said
on.
we should do the sales by category and age and by age group. So this is the first one here that I did.
Okay.
Then the second one is do the sales by sort it by the sales by country, then by the category also. I've forgotten
Awesome. Yes.
that
It's also by
question.
category, by product category. Yes. And I
So
mean,
I
this
did that row by, I just assumed that you want it row by column. So I did the first option as a row, country row, then the categories as the column.
makes sense.
Then the same thing applies to the age group too as well.
Make absolute sense. And well done.
Okay,
So
thank you.
let's take a look at this. From what I was saying earlier, the rest of us, I'm coming to your screen. Oh. Don't think I'm going around the room. So if you're here to do yours, I'm coming to you. Okay. So I'm talking to Gbemisola right now. So looking at these categories, the age grade, yeah, we're looking at bike sales. Remember, we focused on bikes, the last example I used.
Yes.
And we said if we want to increase the profits for bikes to 30 million, then we must make at least 90 million in sales, in revenue. Yeah. Which
Yes.
age grade sells most of our bikes, or we sold most of our bikes to?
Is the 35 to 64 age group adults?
35 to 64 age group, right?
Yes.
Followed by 25 to what?
To 64.
25 to 34.
To
So
34, okay.
double click, go to that column A up there, right? Double click, cool, so that you expand that. 25 to 34, right? So
Yeah.
if you're going to focus on your marketing campaign, and the margin is so wide compared to the other categories, yeah? So if you're
Yeah.
going to focus your marketing, what would you be advising the marketing team to focus on? Which age group should they target?
They should target okay, when you say marketing, is it like to buy more or to
No,
encourage the other
yes,
ones that are not buying? Which one of
we,
them?
we, we want to market our bikes.
Okay.
So which age group should we target our marketing campaigns to?
Okay, so for me, I will go for the adults.
Okay, only the
Yeah.
adults?
And probably the young adults too as well. I
Exactly.
think
So I would
those
say
two.
target mostly between 25 and 64,
Yes.
because combined, both of them will give you 54, right? Almost 53 million,
53.
right? Almost 53 million out of your 61 million, which is almost 90% of your entire revenue. So it means
Yeah.
if I increase more marketing campaign to these guys, I would most probably be able to sell more of those bikes to meet that target of 30 million in profit for bikes.
Yes, exactly.
Not that I will not market to these other guys, oh, but what it shows here is that maybe the youth that are less than 25, even though you would expect them to love the bikes, or maybe they are at the age grade where they can't afford the bike. So these
Yeah.
guys from 25 to 64, they love the bike and they can also afford to buy the bikes. That is why you see those numbers there, right? So our target would be 25 to 64. That should be marketing target. Then in terms of the country, which country is doing more of the sales?
It is United States.
The United States followed closely by Australia, and the
Australia.
margin is also wide. So take a look at this. Sometimes there are two mindsets. One is saying that, oh, I want to. One mindset says, I want to improve on my weak areas, right? So I know my strengths and I know my weaknesses. So it means if I focus a bit on improving my weaknesses, overall, I can become a better person. The second mindset is, oh, this is my weak area. There's almost nothing I can do about it. It's my weak area. I'm always helpless in that area. But if I focus my energy more on my strength, it will project me higher. Now, in business, just like even in life generally, they will advise you to focus on your strengths. Not that you ignore your weaknesses, but this is your strength. Say, for instance, I am better at math than I am at history. Then I will not struggle, say, oh, okay, let me just, let me spend more time with my history books and spend lesser time with my maths book. You know what that would do? You would, at best, in your history, you will grow from fail to average at best. At best. But if you focus on your strength, which is maths, it will drop you at a level where you are considered to be top 1% of those mathematics students in the class or in the entire campus. So you have what is your strength, amplify your strength, not neglecting your weakness, but amplify more of your strength. Same thing in business. If you give this to a marketing team, your proposition will be, let's amplify the campaign from between age 25 to 64. Let's also amplify our campaign in the United States and Australia. These are the places where we have more sales. If we amplify more campaign there, we will do more. If you spend the same budget of campaign, right, in Canada, for instance, where you're doing poorly, if you spend the same budget in Canada, what will happen is that at best, Canada will just come up and maybe do 8 million from 4 million. What would that be towards your target at the end of the day? It won't add any significance. But if you channel your energy where you're already doing well and amplify it, it helps you to do better as a business. Again, I'm not just teaching you how to use Excel. I'm also teaching you how to think as an analyst. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, Bemisola. Ore, it's your turn. You can stop sharing now. Thank you. Ore, talk to us. Can you share your screen, Ore? I'm going around the room.
Please, can you give me a few minutes?
Okay, hurry
I
up.
tried to start the second one. Okay, thank you.
Hurry up. Emily, share your screen. I'm coming to Coyote and Chris soon. Then Hadassah. Hurry up, no time. Is Emily here? Okay. You can unmute and talk to us. Your screen is still coming up though. Okay. Emily, yes, I see your desktop. Can you show your Excel? Click on your Excel.
Can you see my Excel?
Not yet. Is your Excel up on your own end?
Yes, it
So
is.
stop sharing and try to share again. All right. So you can either select to share all screen or select that Excel window. All right. Once you click on share, you will see options on what to select.
Okay.
So you can do entire screen, or you just select under the application windows. You can just select that Excel window. Now you're sharing entire screen. It's fine. So go ahead and open it. All right, cool. We can see your Excel.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
So
We see your Excel. Don't worry. So show us. Okay, cool. So, awesome. 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 Same way as well. Good job, Emily.
yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Who's next? Chris.
Okay, I'm done, sir.
Okay, you can share your screen now, all right? Go on.
Okay. Wow. Please, I'm coming.
Okay. Right. So let's see what we have here. Awesome. But you are yet to order them in descending order, yeah? Do you know how to do that? All right.
Can you see it now?
Yes, we can see it. But you are yet to order them in descending order of total revenue. Do you know how to do it?
Okay. Yeah.
All right, so quickly do that. Nope, you didn't select. What you have selected is, so go back again, do it again. Go back, do it again.
Descending order.
Go back, do it again. Do it again, let me show you something. So what you have selected here, click on more sort options. Okay, I think she's having some network challenges. She's off the call. So let's move on. She will come back and then we'll continue with her. Chris, can you share? Hello, Chris, can you hear me?
Okay, so the thing is, hello, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, please.
Hello.
Yes,
Yes,
yes, I can.
I'm using my phone to watch the video and other things, but my system is offline. Like I'm using my phone to
Okay.
watch.
Okay, I
That's
see.
I've done it,
All
sir.
right. But you've done it, no problem. Kyrie, how
Yes,
about
sir.
you? Kyrie.
Yes, sir. My system is not charged, sir. I'm using my mobile phone, sir.
Okay, so you are connected just with your mobile. It means you are not practicing yet. And I hope you will go back and do it. Ore, you're back. Go ahead and share your screen again. Then we'll come to Hadassah. Right. Maximize this window. Maximize. The next one, towards the right. Maximize is the next button towards the right. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Click on maximize.
We have.
Okay, cool. Right, so go back to your filter where you can order your stuff.
Okay, my filter.
Just to change the order, yeah? To order it by descending order. of revenue. Go back.
Revenue and
We want to order it by descending order. What you were doing before you went off the call. Not there.
here.
Alright. Inside your pivot
Huh?
table. Inside your pivot table. Inside your pivot table.
Okay.
Right. Right. Click on the drop down there.
Here.
No, we're doing this now before you went off. Click on that
Yeah.
drop down beside row labels.
Yeah, this is
I'm not seeing it. Click on the drop down beside row label. The drop down beside row label.
yeah, the drop down, yeah.
No. Your mouse is somewhere else.
The
Are you
drop down
called?
beside row labels.
Yes, exactly. So except
Yeah, I've
if
clicked on it.
but I just saw it now on my own end. So maybe it's your network. Right. So
My
click on
network.
more sort options. Click on more sort options. More sort options.
Okay. Okay,
Right.
descending.
Yeah. So click on descending.
Yeah, I've clicked on it.
Now select that stuff, change it from country to click on that drop down that is just below it. Yes. You will see sum of
I'm
revenue.
coming.
So choose that one. Yeah.
Okay.
Now click OK. Now you are sorting it by in descending order by sum of revenue. Do you understand now? So do the same for the other.
Okay.
Do the same for the other table. Descending.
Yes, sir.
No, drop down. Right. Right. Awesome. Cool. Well done. Good stuff. Hadassah, finally. Thank you, Ore. You can stop sharing.
Okay, sir.
Hadassah,
Yeah, I'm here, sir.
can you share your screen?
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead and share. All right, you can stop sharing.
Yeah, stop,
Huh?
sir. Yeah, sorry. 1 minute.
Oh, okay. We're looking at Hadassah's screen already. Oh, sorry. Okay. Okay, Hadassah, good stuff. I think Hadassah is there already. Cool. Good stuff. All right. Well done, guys. I like the output. So basically, this is easy peasy. I'm going to show us some other things about what is it called? Let me share my own screen back about the pivot table before we move away from the pivot table. All right. So I won't tamper with this one here. Let me modify this guy. All right. So let's say I want to see product category, country, sum of revenue here. Now, instead of these numbers here, maybe I want to see them in percentages. Do you understand? So I want to see how many percentage of the total sales for Australia. By the way, let me just, order this one as well. So instead of seeing them as numbers here, as currencies here, maybe I want to see them as percentages. I want to see the percentage of sales that was made by the US, right, under accessories. What is the percentage for how many percent of the sales was for bikes? How many percent was for clothing and all of that? Simple. This is what we do. Under these values here, where we have the sum of revenues, right, on the pivot table field here, just click on this arrow here, click on value field setting. It brings up this field here where we are able to change. You will see that by default, it does sum. Some other times it doesn't do sum, it can do count. So in case you see things like this, you can easily come here and change them. So we may want to count certain things. We may not just want to sum them. All right, we want to count. Or want to find the average. Or want to find the maximum or minimum and thereabout. So there are other formulas here that you can actually use. All right. I'm okay with the sum here, but you'll see there are two tabs here, summarize by values and show values as. Show values as. Under the show value as, there's a drop down here. I'm going to put this as percentage of grand total, percentage of grand total, and I'll just click OK. And I'll just click OK. All right, percentage of grand total. However, what I wanted to do is I want to see all these guys here, how many percent of this made up the total sales for this. So I'll go back and change that. Not percentage grand total, but I want to see percentage of row total. So I'm going to just click on row total instead. So what we can see here is that of all the sales from the United States, 18% was from accessories, 69.9% was from bikes, 11% was from clothing. Same way with all these other guys here, right? Australia, UK, Germany, and the like. Same way. So there are some times where it is not just to give you these numbers, the sum in currencies and all that. You may want to just look for the ratios or the percentages of these guys. So you don't necessarily need to do that. You can do a lot of manipulations in here. That you can change the format of your field here by just clicking on that arrow, go to field, value field settings. All right, go to value field settings. Yeah, sure. Go to value field settings. You will see other things, that is other formulas that you can apply, that you can actually apply to your pivot table at the end of the day. Do you understand? Right? So I said, let me go over it again. So I went to sum of revenues, or let me just undo. All right, see where we were before. Right, we're here. Right? So I said under your values field here, click on that drop down, the arrow there, and then you will see value field settings. Click on it. So in here, you will see two tabs here, summarize values by, show values as. So under the summarize value by, I said, instead of sum here, you can do count, you can do average, you can do max, mean, and all of that. And it produce according to the formula you have specified here. Remember where we started from? We started with all those common Excel formulas. I think we did some of them here already, right? We used the sum count, we did mean, max, average, and the likes, right? So please, so you can use any of this, but I said we're fine with the sum. It's just that we don't want to show them in the numbers. We want to show them as percentages. Now, I am now on the second tab, show values as. In the first tab, summarize values as. Click on the second tab, show values as. Then you will see a drop down here under this show value as field here. By default, this is what you see by default, right? But here, there's no calculation, that's by default. But here you want to make some calculations, and there are tons of options, all right? There are tons of options of this calculation. But what I wanted to see is, I want to see the total sales in America. How many percent of it was from bikes? How many percent was from clothing? How many percent was from accessories? And all the way down to all countries in my table. That is what I want to see. So, and then it means, this is what I'm saying, United States is on this row, Australia is on this row. If you have inverted yours, that is having product category on your rows and countries on your column, then what you'll be doing, instead of percentage row total, you'll be doing percentage column total. So depending on how you have structured your own pivot table, all right? But here we want to see percentage of row total. This is the row total, what you see here, everything here. So the total for your total sales from United States was 27 million. Total sales from Australia, 21 million. Total sales, 10 million from United Kingdom, and thereabouts to Canada. All right. I just click OK, and then it gives us this. So you can see everything here on the total is 100%. What I'm checking is out of this 100%, how many percent was accessories? How many percent was bikes? How many percent was clothing? All right. These three makes up the 100% that you see on each row. On each row. Is that clear? Is that clear enough now? Hadassah and any other person? Is that clear enough?
Clear enough, sir.
Okay, cool. Cool. Right. I mean, this is everything about pivot tables. All right. I would need you to explore more about what you can also do with pivot tables, but it helps you to draw all of these insights. All right. Remember how to generate a pivot table. Remember how to add, the selections of the table, all the data you want to be represented in your pivot table or to be visible in your pivot table. All right. Then you want to also take note of what is it called? What you have on your rows and your columns and on the values field, right? So until now, we have not used one field here so far, which is the filters field. The filters field. So say for instance, the filters, just like the word, you can use it to filter your drill down further. So let's stay with the okay, let me add one more pivot table. I'll replace this guy here. So I will do this one that you guys have done already. I don't need costs, I don't need profit, I need the country. Right. So this is a country, we did this one already here. So now let's say I get the age group and I drop the age group on the filters. So observe what is happening. Let me create a space here, please. So you observe that this thing is happening here. So a filter has been added to this pivot table for age group rather. So in here, you can see the various age groups, right? Once I click on the drop down here, you can see the various age groups. So what this means is, if I want to see across all of these countries, but only for young adults, just select young adults, and I click OK. It will drill down your, what is it called? It will drill down your table, your pivot table, and it's able to show you for only that age grade. For only that age grade. So let me also filter this, sort this guy so we can have them in descending order here. Right. For young adults age 25 to 34, you can see the revenue that was generated on each product category for each country. You can select any one of these. You can select one per time here. But if you want to select multiple, then you check this box here. So you can select multiple items in your filter. So if I want to focus on young adults 25 to 35, like we saw with Bemitola's work earlier, right? Let's focus on these two. Did you see that these two alone will give us 53 million in sales across all countries, right? And then you will see what the numbers that only these two age groups are able to do across each product category, across each country. You can add as many filters here as possible. I can also add, let me see what else I can add here. Yeah, I can add gender. Where's the gender? Customer gender. Right. I can add gender here as well. Now, I am looking at age group. Let me just uncheck this box. So I'm looking at age group 35 to 64, and I want to see only the ones that are females. Only the ones that are females. You will see the females and the number. So females, adults 35 to 64, you will see the revenues generated for them, right, across each product category, across each country. So filters helps you to drill down further. I can ask you tons of questions only from this guy here. okay, we want to find out, say your data set contains sales record of each salesman in the team. So you want to find out which salesman or what each salesperson has done. You want to drill down per product category, per region, and the sales that they have done over a certain period in your data set. So you're able to drill down. You also want to check, oh, okay, let me even check and focus on female employees. Let me see female employees versus male employees. Is there an insight there? Can we say, oh, female employees do more sales than male employees, or will it be vice versa? Can we say, oh, okay, we can even use the date, right? Do we have a date here? Yeah, I think we have year, right? We can look at the year. We can say, okay, let's even see what the numbers were in 2016. And it will drill down based on all of these filters you have added. We've added year, we've added gender, we've added age group, and we're drilling them down to the revenues made for each product category for each country in the data set. So there's a lot you can do with filters. It helps you to drill down further in your set. All right. Any question? Questions? 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 Give me a thumbs up or confirm if there are no questions. If we're good, then I'll pause for 2 minutes, allow you to catch up. Then we'll move on to the next thing we're supposed to do today, which is charts. Questions, oh, questions. Questions. No one is confirming. What's going on? Can you guys hear me? Am I being heard?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Come on, please. Confirm for me, please. Don't leave me stranded like this, please. Thank you. All right. So 2 minutes, catch up with yours. Replicate what I have just done. So add 3 filters to that. Add 3 filters to that section, right? The 3 filters we added year, gender, age group. Remember, we're doing country per product category, the revenue made per country per product category. So add these 3 filters on yours as well. You already have it, just add the 3 filters. Then we'll quickly talk about charts. We'll call it a day after that. Then tomorrow, we'll get our hands dirty on the project. All right. So we'll start from data cleaning to prepare our data. Then we'll do pivot tables. Then from all of those, we're able to generate a chart, and then we'll put them in a dashboard. Can I proceed? Maureen is excited.
Yes, please.
Okay, cool. All right. So the next thing that we want to look at is charts. So I'll come back to the home screen here. I'll come back to the home screen here. And then we'll talk about charts. Charts are visual representations of your data. Now we're talking about visualization in using Excel. All right. Remember our steps or processes in data analysis. We talked about your data gathering, right? Data gathering or data pipelining. We talked about data preparation or data cleaning. We talked about data visualization. We talked about data modeling, right? And we talked about reporting. So take note of all of those. So you are proceeding in this manner. The first visualization tool we're going to look at in our time together is using Excel. Excel can do tons of visualizations. You can do tons of visualizations using Excel, right? After preparing your data and all of that, you've gotten all of the insights you want to show. Now it is time to actually express them in a graphical way that is a bit more appealing than mere looking at all of these numbers, all right? Than mere looking at all of these numbers. Sometimes looking at these numbers can be a bit boring to some people, but when they see the chart, it helps a whole lot. So this is what I'm going to do. I want to select this. There are so many charts that exist in Excel. And there are two categories of charts. We have the regular charts and the pivot charts or the pivot charts. The same way you have tables and pivot tables in Excel, you also have regular charts and pivot charts in Excel. The only difference is in the dynamism of it. Your regular charts, you can generate that from a table, from a mere table. I'll show us. Now, your pivot chart, you can generate that from a pivot table like this. Okay, we can add a pivot chart. So from pivot table analyze, I can actually okay, let me start with the regular chart. Let's start with this. I want to copy this here. I'm not going to copy it as a pivot table. I want to just paste it as a regular table. So I only copied and I pasted values. All right, I just pasted values. So yep, so this is the format. So this is, I'm just editing what we had here. Right, so I'm editing what we have here. So these guys here from our pivot chart, but let's assume this is our table and we want to visualize this. I can call this countries, right, in the product category here. So let's say we want to visualize this. What kind of visual? I'll share something with us later. More please remind me. I'll share a documentation that helps you to understand, just gives you an idea on what type of charts that you can use per time. Do you understand? Oh, should I go ahead and use a pie chart? Or should I go ahead and use a bar chart? Or should I go ahead and use a scattered plot or a line graph? What, things like that. However, this is what I will always recommend. Most of the times, depending on your data that you want to visualize, you have multiple categorical data in that way. Do you understand? Your best bet is to use bar charts because this is the best expression of your data set, best expression of it. So I select these fields. I'm not selecting the totals because I want to see comparisons in between the product categories for each country. So we're not looking at the grand total. We'll look at the grand total when we're talking about something else. Or alternatively, I can start with that. Let me start with something small. I'm selecting this. I'm holding my control key and I select this. I've selected just these two columns or just these two groups of cells here. So I go to insert on the menu bar, insert on the menu bar. Right here where you have charts, you will see charts here. You have tons of charts to choose from. You see the pivot charts that I mentioned earlier. We won't touch that for now. Here, recommended charts. Once you click on it, it is giving you an idea. It's a very good way to start. It gives you an idea on the kinds of charts that you can actually have, the kind of charts that you can actually have that you can actually use for that particular data set. All right, the kind of chart that you can use for that particular data set that you want to visualize. So this is what is known as column charts or clustered column charts in this case. Here it's giving you a suggestion. Why is it giving you a map kind of chart? Because it's seeing countries here. Now, this may not work for some versions of your Excel, all right? But if you're using Office 365, it will work very fine for you. So if you look at recommended charts, it gives you a list of charts that you can actually consider to use. It is called a funnel chart. This is a pie chart. Do you understand? All of these are recommendations. Well, let's say, no, I don't want to use any of your recommendations. I want to use, I want to go to all charts I know the charts that I want to use, then I can go to all charts and look for those charts and go ahead to implement them. All right, and go ahead to implement them. I'm fine with this chart for now. I'll just click OK. I'll just click OK. So once I'm okay with this chart here, so this is the first thing that happens. You see this chart. It is showing us these numbers or these bars here for each country. These are the revenues made per country, right? That is all I've selected. I only selected the countries and their grand total. That's what I selected. And that is why you can see what we have in here. I can go ahead and format this chart. We will look at formatting the chart in the first part of our class tomorrow. We'll look at how we can format these charts, make it a bit more appealing, right? So right here, I'm seeing grid lines here. I can just click on those grid lines until all these grid lines are showing that they are selected. And I can just press delete on my keyboard, right? And they are gone. And sometimes these numbers here, I don't want them there. I just selected it and they're also gone. I want the numbers to display on each item here, on each bar here. So I go to, you see this plus sign here. Once you're in the chart, you see this plus sign here. These are for chart elements. So I want to see data labels. Once I check data labels, it will bring up all of those numbers here. This is a more appropriate way of representing my chart compared to what I had before, where it was just on the x-axis. Sorry, on the y-axis. All right. So this makes more sense, looks more visually appealing to me. I can change the colors by going here, see on chart designs here, you see format, you see chart design. So I can go in here and change whatever. There are different designs in here, all right? There are different designs in here. But, I mean, you can try as much as you can to be very artistic, but don't be too artistic. It's not important. What is important is that you're able to visualize using the appropriate visual for your data set. Now, this is easy to see in the eyes, right? If I give you this table and I give you this chart, which of them will you appreciate more? Somebody talk to me. If I give you the table and I give you the chart, which of them will you appreciate more?
I'll appreciate the chat, sir.
Right, the chart. Exactly, the chart. Why? I mean, it's a bit visually appealing, right? It's not very unfriendly. You can easily look at it and make sense out of it. Some people don't like looking at it. However, in my workplace, I have bosses who they don't even like seeing anything artistic or visuals or colors. They just give them the raw numbers. They are fine with the raw numbers, and that's okay. So depending on your stakeholder again, okay? So, but you look at the way these numbers are. Numbers are looking, sometimes the numbers can run into billions. The numbers can run into billions, and then you're like, how do I go about representing them here? And the numbers are so long. You see the way they are colliding. If I shrink this chart further, you'll find out that the numbers are overlapping each other. You can actually summarize this number, right? So that it gives you, instead of saying all of these numbers, it can just give you, say, $1.9 million, right? How do we do that? When I come in here, where you have your data labels there, you see this arrow beside it. I click on it. You see this more options here. I click on more options. It brings up this dialog box on the side here where I can format them further. But where I want to be is on where I want to be is here. No, I'm on the right place here. Label options under the number. All right. Under the number, here you can format them in so many ways here. And under the format code, this is where you can add, excuse me. Under the format code, this is where you can add and change that format. All right. If I click on custom here, some of the things you will observe here is that it is giving me some level of approximation. That's still not what I want. All right, I'm going to drop a code here for you guys that you can actually use. Right. Just a second, I'll drop them. Okay. Because ours is just in millions. So I'm just going to use this one instead. So I'll drop it here on the chart. So you can use that and apply it where I'm applying mine here. So under the format code here, I'm replacing it with this. And when I click on add, it automatically changes what I have here. All right. So again, I can also, let me see, I can also add the currency that I also want to see. All right, I can add the currency that I want to see as well. So it tells you, oh, okay, this is $1.9 million, $1.1 million, and stuff. If you want it to get to billions, then you can also add this other one. All right. You can also add this. Where's my chart here? You can also add this. That is if your numbers got to billions. Anyways, still the same thing. But observe the format here. There are 3 commas in billions. There are 2 in million. All right. For the thousands, we can have it's just 1 comma. After also thousands, millions, billions. Again, we can have all of them combined together. We don't have to do them separately. Da, 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 da. We don't have to do them separately. I'm just going to drop that as well on the chat. I will drop it here on the chat as well. Cool. So this one will cover thousands, millions, right? We can also do the same and add it for billions as well. All right. But just to let us know, we can do a lot of things. We can format this. We can come in here and change this title. All right. We can change it to revenue by country. Yeah, okay, yeah, total revenue by country, right? So that it speaks to what these data or what the chart is talking about, right? What am I looking at? I'm looking at total revenue by country. This is what has been made. You can have so many other things in there. There are tons of charts, all right? Pie charts are there, your bar charts are there, and all that. We'll explore more on how to format our charts, explore other chart options that we have on the first part of our class tomorrow. Please, I urge us to come in on time. We're going to start at exactly 3 o'clock so that we can cover up a bit. So when we explore those chart options, then we can see how we can execute our first capstone project, all right, which is to develop an Excel dashboard. So we'll start from data retrieval, data cleaning and preparation, the insights generation, then the visualization. Then we'll place our visuals on the dashboard. Any question? Any question? I'm drawing the curtain close here. Any question? All right. If there are no questions, I'll stop recording now. And once the